Now you remember Freedom Industries spilled all that toxic chemicals into a river in West Virginia, endangering the water supply, in fact cutting off the water supply of 300,000 citizens. And of course it affected the restaurants, the hotels, everyone there. The reporters were afraid to cover it because they were afraid to go to that town. They didn't know how they would shower, where they would eat, etc. It's an ironic advantage that a polluting company has. So now it turns out there's one little extra twist, because they asked people, well, look, the restaurants, the hotels, I don't know how we're ever going to pay back those small businesses, but small businesses don't really have a lot of advantages because big businesses are usually the ones that buy off the politicians. That's why there was almost no regulation of Freedom Industries while they stored all those toxic chemicals. Oops, right? So, and if your small business gets affected by it, that's your sad day, right? Now, for the citizens, they said, okay, you got to do this whole flushing thing that I'm about to explain to you, okay? But don't worry, you're going to get your money back. So, full story. First, as they explain on Raw Story, the chemical spill in West Virginia has left thousands of people near Charleston with licorice-scented tap water that they're afraid to use, despite the assurances of government and their water company. I love the smell of licorice in the morning. I got news for you, it isn't licorice. And if you're concerned about your family, your kids drinking that water, and don't worry, the government reassures you that the company they've been in bed with the whole time has got this whole thing figured out. Go ahead and drink the water. I wouldn't be reassured. Now, if you were reassured by all their promises, you got another rude awakening in West Virginia. West Virginia American Water promised customers a credit on their bills for the water homeowners needed to use to flush their pipes of contamination. That makes sense. But when many received their January bills, the credit was nowhere to be found. Say it with me. Of course, of course. And ThinkProgress did some good reporting on this. And look, here's what they asked people to do. The water company asked customers to flush their pipes twice last month. During those flushes, the customers were asked to leave their water on for 25 minutes, a process that WVAM said should use at most 500 gallons of water. But they said it's okay because we're going to pay for that, okay? The company is, all right? So when you get your bill, that won't be on it, except I just told you it was on it, right? Furthermore, bills showed hundreds of gallons of water use that homeowners claimed as impossible, even with the flushing. So not only did they not compensate them for their losses, they also haven't compensated them for the water that they told them to use. And then on top of that, they have added bills for things that seem an inconceivable amount of flushing. So there's now protesters in West Virginia. There's 100 of them that went down there to protest this issue. You know, just last week we were wondering on the show, Jimmy Dore, Ben Mankiewicz were asking about this. Are people ever going to get pissed? Like, I mean, at what point do you say, hey, wait a minute, you poisoned my water? I know I've been fed all this propaganda about how deregulation is awesome, but when deregulation poisons my kids and then you charge me for it, is there a point where you get pissed and actually go to the streets? Apparently we have reached that point. So, Freedom Industries, thank you. Well, and you have proven apparently that freedom isn't free.